folks. We are GrownAGeeks, and tonight we're going to talk about New York Comic Con 2025. All of the trailers that came out. We got a chance to see some really cool trailers for some interesting projects and some quite predictable. We already know where this is going to go and what we're dealing with kind of trailers. I will say it actually changed my opinion on a few things, so we're gonna talk about it. Also tonight we're going to be talking about the web series, The Comic Shop. 6-episode web series with a cast of characters who are quite interesting. So we'll get into that. Joining me tonight, the usual cast, the gang of friends here to talk. We've got RG Cashmere, the Geek Club bouncer, Miss Brandy, Teresa, how to be TK, and Jeffrey JPNT17. I'm Elder Geek Sam, and we're gonna get right into it. New York Comic Con 2025 trailers. So got a chance to check out a lot of these trailers that came out. And it was kind of funny seeing some of the trailers because I was catching a little bit here, a little bit there. Didn't get to go to New York Comic Con. That sucks. One day I'm going to go to New York Comic Con. It's going to be fantastic. And I'll do a cosplay. It'll be a whole thing. So to help me get there, click that QR code right above Brandy. Make sure you like and subscribe. Help us get there. Like, share, leave your comments. That's how we get there. She nailed it. All right. So
she didn't even practice, folks. That was off
fantastic.
The head. That was off the dome.
First try. Look at that. So New York Comic Con, got a chance to see some of the trailers, and I have a list of the different trailers pulled up that was shown. And some of this stuff is kind of like, some of it I'm looking forward to. Some of it I could probably do without. Some of it I already know how it ends. If you've watched this channel, you know I like to I can't help but to try to predict, and I've always got to speculate about what's it going to be. I'm always trying to solve the mystery before it's even a mystery, and we will get to that one. But let's start with the beginning. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, the Game of Thrones spinoff. Did anybody actually see or give a rat's ass about the Game of Thrones spinoff?
Yeah.
Okay, so as we move on, because I can tell you,
those is white people with white people problems.
I am Game of Thrones out. Now I will say
I'm kind of done on Game of Thrones.
I will say the only thing about this is it seems like it's trying to be a comedy series based in the world.
Comedy.
It doesn't. Yeah. So
comedy authors.
A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. That's one of the items that dropped in. There's a official HBO Max trailer. You can go and check that one out.
That sounds like foolishness.
Yeah. Now, here's one that surprised me. Marvel's Wonder Man 8-part miniseries. Did you all get a chance to check out the trailer for that one?
I meant to and I didn't, but yes, I've seen the hype surrounding it and I'm intrigued. Yeah. I don't know anything about it, so
I have to say that I was probably more interested before this trailer. And I think because I thought it was going to be something different. Now that I've seen this trailer, which is the official, like full, because everything we had before was just like teasers, and you know what I'm saying? It just gave you a little bit here, a little bit there. I knew who some of the people that were going to be in it. Now we have this Wonder Man, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yes, because that's yeah. Okay, I'm in. What is I don't care.
That's my feeling as well. And we have Ben Kingsley.
Oh,
is he coming back as Trevor Slattery?
Yes.
That's what
I wouldn't see him doing anything else.
So I'm absolutely in. But I at least can say now that it is not the show that I thought it was going to be. And that's probably a good thing that this trailer clarified that, because if I'd gone in and seen 1 or 2 episodes and I'd be like, what the hell is this? Based on what I thought it was, and seeing I would unfairly be grading
it was
a show about Wonder Man, a superhero.
I mean, it's called Wonder Man.
Yeah.
Why would I think that?
And is it not that?
It seems like it's a show about the making of a Wonder Man movie in the MCU versus it being about Wonder Man, a
Wonder Man.
superhero that exists in this world that there are already superheroes in. That is assuming that this is happening on the MCU Earth, because we know we got multiverses and all that stuff now. But
Okay.
I
There's
do
an
think
element that
I
stands
think
out.
I think it's interesting. It feels
I don't
very
know,
much
though.
like the studio.
Y'all know that Disney likes to market something, especially the shows, as something, and then throw a twist in there, like
Yeah.
WandaVision
Absolutely,
and
absolutely,
Loki.
and admittedly, like Jeff was explaining, from what I initially thought it was, even in okay, and of course this is one of those things like what little research and understanding that I have of the character of Wonder Man. Actor Simon Williams does this experimental thing. He gets these powers. Boom, he's Wonder Man. So in the comic universe, he is both Avenger and actor. So it would make sense that if we were doing a show about Wonder Man, that perhaps maybe it would be a show about an actor who ends up getting superpowers.
And that is what I'm most interested in, because I'm not trying to see like Sam Wilson. I love you, you my dog, but I need some superpower black people. I need to see
Powers.
you
Just
holding
take
it down for the
Sam,
you holding it
Sam.
down for the regulars.
Powers.
But I need some
With a heavy
superpowers. And I think
powers.
I have a theory based on the trailer. Because in the trailer, the guy who's directing the Wonder Man movie in the show says a line where he said, I want to blur the I want to like find the space between nonfiction and fiction.
Okay.
I think that they're going to try to give him powers to make him a real Wonder Man, to be able to play Wonder Man in the movies. That's my theory on it.
New heroes, though.
Now Wonder Man's old.
No, I mean like just to be introducing. It just seems like a lot because again, we have heroes we're not doing anything with. They were introduced and
like who, Brandy? Who? What heroes do we
I'm not
have?
even going to get into it. You wouldn't know what I'm talking about.
But no, and I would agree.
Are they
but I also
Cajun?
think that we need to
that bitch shit.
We need to have a lineup of heroes who have the power to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like every hero that's here can't be the Thunderbolts and that be the extent of the power. You know what I'm saying? We can't just have Sam Wilson and that be the extent of the power and the people and the team that he's apparently going to be leading.
We need.
I think they're giving us characters that like can kind of funnel through some of these groups that they're showing us now. Because I think now they're like, I feel like the major phase one overarching thing was like Avengers. And that's the only team. And everybody's like, what about X-Men? What about this? What about it's like it's Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's it. And when Guardians of the Galaxy show up in the Avengers movies, they Avengers. Like Rocket put on your little A suit when we go back in time, and I don't hear nothing else about it. All right. Now, but I think now they're interesting. They're opening it up to like more groups. Like we understand what a group is. We understand how it works. Now we can subvert that and show you Fantastic Four. We can show you Thunderbolts. But we got to have people to fill out these rosters too, because we're not going back to. We got more teams, so now we need even more people to be on some of those teams, because all the old dudes, if they come back, I feel like they're coming back as something else, or it's a person from another universe, another version, or some shit like that. So it's interesting. I hope it works. I hope it ain't. It looked a little bit like a little foolishness, Teresa, but I think you're gonna sit through it for Yaya.
You know what? I will say this. I looked at it, and the first thing I thought was, okay, this must be what's considered ridiculousness, not quite foolishness, because I'm gonna watch it.
Ridiculousness might be worse than foolishness.
Really? Okay, I had it backwards. I thought ridiculousness was something we could tolerate. Foolishness, we just wasn't even gonna bother with.
I don't know.
Okay.
Hijinks. I might be able to stomach the hijinks for Yaya.
There were definitely some hijinks in this trailer. Let me say that. Because I looked and I was like,
I want to watch the trailer.
Yeah,
I'm sad I didn't get a chance.
Like I said, I just looked at it and I said, this is not what
I thought
it was.
I don't now. See, now you making me feel away because they better not have my boo out here looking a fool.
No, and I will say this.
I don't know nothing about no Wonder Man.
No. Now let me say this. It does make sense.
I don't know nothing about no damn Wonder Man.
I don't know.
No damn Wonder Man.
Well, I'll say this.
That's straight out of the focus group right there.
Okay.
We will come back and we'll talk about the trailer after you've had a chance to see it. All I'm saying, and I didn't want that to be negative. Initially, I heard that it was going to be Yaya, and I've liked him in everything I've seen him in thus far. I've liked him in all of his superhero roles. And when I heard he was going to be Wonder Man, I was like, you know what? That could work. I think that's going to be a really good thing. Now that I'm seeing what it is, I'm like, how in the hell is he going to be wait, what? So he's just playing in a remake of Wonder Man? Okay, wait, what? And so it just, like I said, it just threw me off because it's not what I thought it was going to be. Maybe it ends up being that by like the 4th episode. Who knows? But the trailer clarified that it wasn't what I thought going in. That may be a good thing because now I don't go in with certain expectations only to be let down, thinking it's, what is this? Now at least I go in prepared and understanding what I'm seeing, and I can, judge it objectively. So,
and they might switch it up on you, like you said.
Exactly, because I think Jeff brings up a very good possibility of blurring the lines
powers in the as a.
Right. Well, y'all enjoy doing that show because I'm not taking Disney off of punishment for that bullshit trailer. That trailer it made Wonder Man look more corny. Everything about that trailer looked corny to me. I'm not remotely interested. It did not make me want to watch that show at all. It made me like Sam. It made me want to watch it less. Like it's terrible. I'm like, holy shit! I didn't want to watch it before. Now I really don't want to watch. Yeah, so I'm not taking them. I want Disney to go back to making goddamn superhero movies. I don't want no fucking anthology series. I don't want no comedy show. I don't want no mind bender. I want you to make a building fall because somebody punched it. That's what I want to see. I want to see that. I want to see fans. I want to escape. I don't want to watch people try to crack jokes and deal with their anxiety and all that shit. I don't want to do that. No. So
I will that.
Hurry up with the X-Men already. Hurry up with the X-Men.
Time out. You don't want to see people going through emotional problems and then the next thing you ask for is X-Men?
I'm saying I don't no. I don't want to see.
But they can punch buildings though.
Just so right. You could be going through it while you in the middle of the fight.
Well.
I'm fine.
I was going to say
it
was so much damn crying in season 1 of X-Men 97.
Yeah, I mean, look, Thunderbolts had us, dealing with, mental issues and things like that. I appreciate it. But this nigga knock a building down. So I'm like, all right, that's what I'm talking about. Lash out, crash out. First off, y'all's corny to me. So y'all, I'm already like, I'm good on dude already. He screwed up Morpheus, and I'm like, all right, man.
He didn't screw up Morpheus. That movie screwed up Morpheus.
Well, that's true too, man. But he signed on for it, so you the represent. I'm mad at you.
So he should have been more discerning in the role. I think he did as well as could be expected in that role. I thought he did. He had a fantastic take as in Watchmen, the HBO series.
Okay.
I thought he did really, really well there. And I also, surprisingly enough, I actually wanted him to get his revenge on Aquaman.
He was mid as hell in that movie, man.
I didn't like him because he was, well, it's not that I didn't like him. But y'all know how I feel about Jason Momoa. So I couldn't really be objective because of how hard he was going against Aquaman.
True.
He's like he hit my baby. Get off my man.
I personally have been a fan of his, devoted and deeply since Watchmen.
Yeah,
respect it.
He was so talented.
And that's why, like I said, I have
big
hopes.
talent.
And
yeah, big talents.
Honest Tom Jones. No, I'm just playing.
Just talented all over the place.
I thought Tom Johnson.
No, he really is an amazing actor. Being serious, he's everything I've seen him in. He really is a great actor. Like he has a lot of range. So that's why I'm like, they just got him being goofy. Like why are you wasting? You could have put anybody in that role. You could have put Kevin Hart in that role.
Oh,
I'm just saying, if that's what this is, I haven't seen the trailer and I don't know nothing about no Wonder Man.
Kevin Hart is the before.
But if it's a jokey joke and he's just playing a dude making a movie,
that would have been the first Marvel project that I would have had to boycott.
ISB, don't waste this man's range. Don't waste him and bring him into the Marvel. You know what I mean? And like, don't take full advantage of what you have.
I feel like this one of them things too, where when people they be on that, I don't want to just be a sex symbol. Man, get out of here, bro. Let the normal looking fat funny people be funny, and you just lift stuff, take your shirt off, make the girls go woo, and let's stop overthinking this. Like you don't stop trying to be sexy and funny.
To just the sex symbol, he really did a great job in Watchmen. Of all the emotions. He's a good actor.
He is.
Who happens to be sexy, which is not a bad thing. I'm not mad. I'm not hating. If you want to take your shirt off in the show, I'm not going to be upset about that. But like with Sterling K. Brown, I don't need to see the booty.
The booty.
But if it's there, I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna steal your joy, Brandy.
I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna steal your joy.
That's what I'm saying. You get when you look good, you get away with certain stuff too. Like if Yaya wasn't swinging how he's swinging, they not going that route. You know what I'm saying? Like if he don't look good, like how he looked good, like even some of the choices you get to make, I feel as an actor, just are limited because people be like, I don't believe that. It's like that meme where it's like the sexual harassment meme at work when it be like the good looking dude like, wow, nice dress. Oh, thank you. And then it's like the dudes you don't want talking to you like, nice dress. It's like, ew, I'm uncomfortable. And it's like you have every right to be uncomfortable when somebody who you don't like is complimenting you.
It's not that. It's one dude is good looking enough that that's a throwaway compliment. You know what I mean? Like he thought you looked nice in the dress. It's like you look nice in the dress. The creepy dude in the corner, he took that compliment home with him and wrapped it up in his greasy hands.
But see, with these actors,
terrible things.
These actors though, they be looking at it like, why can't I play the greasy dude in the corner? And it's like, man, because look at you, bruh. Like
you have nothing to prove by playing that role.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna gain 55 pounds and shave my head and come on, Christian Bale. Like, get out of here. Yeah. Save some for the next Zach Galifianakis. Oh, I'm gonna be the Penguin. I'm gonna be
Charlize Theron pulled it off though. She pulled it off. Right. Charlize pulled it off, right? There's nothing about her role in Monster that's like ooh. Brother, ooh.
I mean, if it's like a transformation, if it's like a transformational thing, sure. But like, come on, Colin. What's his name? Playing Penguin.
Drew Barrymore had never been kissed. Like, come on, Drew.
What are we doing, y'all? What are we doing? Am I blind? Like, I'll be watching this stuff. Like, am I blind?
She's all that. Oh, never have I seen the beauty.
Man.
But she had on overalls and glasses, so all she's not
I saw
hot.
was the glasses. Man, get out of here, man. This girl fine as a mud. Like, what school is this? Everybody at this school need their eyes checked.
I mean, all I think about is not another movie where he just like, let's see, if we just take the glasses off and just like pulls the ponytail out, boom, a 10 immediately. Like, come on. That's all it
down
took.
some stairs in a red dress. Man,
and now suddenly,
I could have been told you that.
Oh my god!
I will say what I saw in the trailer. RG has a very unique perspective on a lot
RG is
of
not
things,
gonna like this,
especially when he doesn't like
I
it.
don't think
So
so.
do not. I don't
Unless there's a
necessarily
big
think.
twist.
I don't think it was as bad as he's portraying it. Although it did make me like do a double take and recognize like this is not what I thought it was going to be.
I'm hoping Jeff is right as shit on this one. Like,
I mean, even if it is,
let him pull that off.
It looks like it's going to be a very self-aware meta series that looks like it's trying to be, not trying to be. It looks like it is supposed to be reality within the MCU, as opposed to it being a movie or a TV show about Wonder Man. It is a TV show about the creation of a movie about Wonder Man. Therefore, the actor.
Sound great.
You have to.
Soapbox was good, so maybe I'll like it.
But there are Wonder Man comics, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a white man.
Do we know what the Wonder Man? I know he's a white man, but do we know what his storyline was?
Yeah, and I mean the only thing that they
from the
linked up is that he's an actor.
From the comic, from the comic.
It's just that he's an actor. That's the only thing they have in common.
So again, the MCU, and this is the part that a lot of times people sometimes they look at the MCU as being so directly linked to the comics. A lot of the events that take place in the MCU are based on comic lines, based on comic stories. They're not one-for-one direct translation.
Right.
So that's where we get, and it even shows there's a scene in the trailer where a younger Simon Williams is looking at the movies and he sees this white Wonder Man on the screen, but you can tell that he's just obsessed with the superheroes and whatnot. At some point later, a director says he's making a movie about Wonder Man. Our character, Simon Williams, is auditioning for Wonder Man. That in and of itself, casting Yahya to be in the role of Wonder Man already in a meta standpoint addresses how we have a black man playing this white character. That's a think piece that's automatically given to us just from the trailer. So there are parts of it that I could dissect, dig down, and be like, okay, I see what you did there. So I want to be very clear. It's not to immediately make me think that it was bad. It was just, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Okay. I thought it was going to be Hawkeye, where maybe that might not be the best one. I don't want to trigger Brandy. I thought this was going to be.
You said what?
Don't let her bully you. Don't let Brandy bully you.
I don't want her to steal a car, come beat me up.
I don't have a problem with Hawkeye.
Right. I thought this was going to be like an origin story of a superhero. I thought this was going, you know what I'm saying? Like when we hear Wonder Man and then you see big old Yahya, I'm like, okay, cool. He's going to be Wonder Man. We're going to have powers. West Coast Avengers is coming. Yay. Now I'm like, oh, Simon Williams is trying to get the role for a movie. We're following this human person that's not a superhero.
Well, I think it's probably likely that he would get the powers, like Jeff said.
It's a trailer.
Look, I'm gonna say this: it's no way.
If that happened in the comic book,
there is.
I feel like with Disney, it's like yes, they have not had as many hits as maybe they did in the golden MCU era, but Kevin Feige is not oblivious enough to the world to make a Wonder Man show where nobody got no damn powers.
Right.
I just like if he does that, then I'll lose. I will come on this show and renounce him.
Someone else got the power. Like
right. Somebody gotta have some powers.
Wonder Man, which would suck because why would you waste Yahya like that? I just can't believe they would have an actor like that That's like casting, like
And
not on the level of like a Denzel, but I just mean on the level of like you wouldn't cast like an Emma Stone, someone who you know is a very competent actor.
but let me say
No,
that
But I
I'm
mean, that
not
girl that
trying
plays
to
She-Hulk,
predict.
that girl that plays She-Hulk is almost overqualified for the She-Hulk role. That girl is a
right, but that's
really
what I
good
mean. But they
actress.
gave her a whole thing. They wouldn't cast somebody like an Emma Stone and then just throw her away on a side
Yeah.
character, and the main person is somebody else. You know what I mean? So I don't think
Gotcha.
they would cast Yaya and then have someone else become Wonder Man.
Gotcha. Okay. That's what you're saying.
If someone does, which I
Gotcha.
think they would. I don't. I don't know.
It's a trailer.
Right.
Right. I was about to say that. Let me
Right.
also say that, like, I'm
We
not
have
trying to make a
no
full
He said it's a
idea
prediction
trailer.
of
We
the
what
do
they're
not
gonna
show.
know.
do.
That's right.
I can't.
Defend your man.
I can't even speak on the show till we get an episode. I was
Right.
just saying, and that's again, I just want to clarify, just from everything that I had seen prior to seeing this trailer, just had me thinking the actor Simon Williams was going to become Wonder Man, and that was the story they were going to tell. Boom. Now I see the story they're telling, and I'm like,
That could still be the story that they're going to tell, though.
It
it
could
could,
be, yes.
it could. It could, and I apologize if you're making me think since you haven't seen the trailer that that's not the story they're going to tell. I'm simply saying that from what they showed initially, from
I don't know.
teaser, I don't either. It's
Why
I
would you
don't either.
introduce that character by that name
Agree.
and then in Wonderman,
So
He's black.
Wonder
I
Man.
do it.
sure, Wonder Man. Like, and again, like here's the very obvious part though. Let me say this.
You know something?
the
That's what
very
he's getting
clear-
called going forward.
Here's the very
That
clear
show is
part
whack.
that is undeniable.
Did you enjoy Wonder Man?
Yaya has been cast as Simon Williams. Period. Simon Williams is Wonder Man. Period.
right?
All we got to do is see how. When the show come
Right.
out, we'll get to see how. And that's what I'm gonna do. That's all I can say for it. Now, to Jeff's other point, it is interesting to note that in the comics, Wonder Man was part of the West Coast Avengers. So, as we
Who's
were
on
talking about
there?
all these different teams,
Kate
I think-
Bishop.
Oh, of course. And
And
stay on the
who
West
is-
Coast too.
who's still running around in it still exists. Okay. So that is something, of course, that I think is just an interesting little add-in right there. And so I'm
No,
curious.
I
to
will
see.
say that at this point, by the time they bring her back now, she should be more mature. She should be more on her own too, and not acting like a stupid ingenue. So hopefully, at this juncture, I think she's also matured as an actress. So I really hope that they write her as an
She better
adult.
not come in there talking like she was talking in Sinners.
Yeah. She's
I need
definitely
everything up in here. No, let's not. We don't gotta
definitely grew
go
up a little
there.
bit. Yeah, she grew up a little bit. She absolutely matured.
No, I feel like, I think they wrote her as like still as kiddish, and I'm good on that. So
Yeah. But I think even in Marvel Zombies, there was a little bit of growth, and having her, Riri, and Miss Marvel as a trio, I thought that was cute. That was a good little grouping of people, and there were some compliments to their power set. Thought that worked. Another trailer that dropped. It's a movie it feels like we've seen once before, but this is just a different version. Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson star in a sci-fi movie called Mercy.
Man, if they
His
don't
sci-fi
get this
movies piss
fake
me off.
ass,
That last movie with Jennifer Lawrence made me so mad. I don't know.
Oh,
this is fake Minority Report, and the movie
Bingo.
doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna explain the movie to you based on what I saw in the trailer. Chris Pratt is a cop. He wakes up in a
Okay.
chair strapped to handcuffed to some smart chair. He's face to face with a computer screen. You on trial. All right. So now we get in trial by AI. But I'm a cop. I implemented the system. You killed your wife. Yeah, that's the play. Every white man in these movies, you killed your wife.
Killed their
Now
wife,
he
right.
has to prove to the AI that he has an hour and a half to basically prove to the AI with access to all the street cams and calling people and all this other stuff like that. He has to convince the AI that he did not kill his wife. This movie is stupid because if you made an AI that's whole purpose was to determine guilt, how would giving all of the information that the AI already has to a human and giving them an hour and a half to, like, why doesn't the AI just run the algorithm and the programs and determine the guilt? Why is
innocence or
like
guilt, right?
because if
The AI
the AI
could look at the street signs and all of that, the
because
cameras.
if the AI can't do that, why is this system in place?
Right.
Why is the AI arresting people and doing all this stuff like that? And you like the whole premise of this movie is 100% stupid. Chris Pratt is not a
It's
good enough
100%
actor to
stupid.
be sitting in a chair for the whole damn movie
Right.
and
Of
just
himself.
acting
Right.
by jerking and moving his head around. Okay, like
Yeah. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I
He's
was
no
if
John
you don't get
Cusack.
if you don't get your ass up and go fight somebody and be this
A smart
generation's
ass.
Belushi or
Do a little.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
you is not Tom
Yeah.
Cruise, my boy.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I
even close.
100% agree. And that's why I said that I already feel like I've seen this movie once and it was done better when it was called Minority Report. So I don't see where anybody stands to gain from seeing this movie. If you're for AI or against AI, this is not the movie to convince you either way. If you're for AI, the premise of the movie is to show that humans are still smarter than AI, and he can somehow prove his innocence despite the AI already finding him guilty. If you're against AI, then this is not the movie for you because we've already put judge, jury, and executioner in the hands of the AI. And the thing that stood out to me that I really had a problem with was the fact that while he has 90 minutes to convince the AI, let's just start there, to convince the AI. That means that there's no humor, no I'm going to make you feel sad for me or you have remorse or anything like that. It is just cold, hard facts, just the facts. And you are supposed to find something the AI missed. And in the 2-minute trailer, while he's scouring through all this information, he's like, show me where my wife went that day. Show me where this person is. Let me see my daughter's footage and da-da-da-da. He apparently sees that the wife is, from the scene, it looks like the wife is in a hotel with another person. Immediately, he thinks she's having an affair. Two things are wrong with that. One, well, there was a lot wrong with that specific thing. But first of all, why did you catch that and the AI didn't? The AI has access to all of the same information and should have been able to see it. Two, the AI points out that giving me that information, it actually increased the probability that he's the guilty party because now he has given the AI probable cause and a motive to why he would be the one who kills her. I was just all of that together in this movie had me kind of looking at this movie like, really? Okay, this is now.
And
I
feel
will
like
say
they really thought they was doing something.
they really did.
Yeah,
it was
Like
our new movie. It's like, man,
I can't wait to see Chris Pratt go to promote this movie.
Hey, Chris Pratt, there's a reason why Tom Cruise passed on this movie. Like, they brought this to him as Minority Report 2, and he ain't do it. Like, bruh, go fight some dinosaurs or something.
I just
think you're absolutely accurate when you say, there's only so many actors that can handle a movie where you are the focus of the movie the entire time and be riveting and be powerful and be, you know what I'm saying? And when I think of that, and I'm sure Chris Pratt is great, but that's just not necessarily, and I get that he wants to stretch and bless him for trying, but and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this will be a tour de force and people will be like, oh my God, Chris Pratt, like you've never seen him.
That's the only way to market it. Absolutely. Because I will say, and this was the only positive, because see, I'm all about trying to be positive and trying to find the good in things. And when I be like, why did I watch that? I have to find one thing positive. I watched this trailer and I was like, why did I watch that? You know what? What's the positive? The one positive thing I said, I shit you not, I said to my wife, I'm like, well, it looks like Chris Pratt is actually trying to do like serious drama and not his normal like jokey joke smart ass routine.
And he may pull it off. Here's the thing. He may pull it off, but the premise alone is just not strong enough.
Nah, you didn't see
I don't like the premise. No, I mean, I've seen the trailer, and I know he's goofy looking,
They don't put bad acting in the trailer unless all that's in the movie is bad acting.
Right.
This was the best of.
I mean, but he's crying.
The words.
He's crying. He's crying. I want to think maybe that was one of those emotional.
When you look at Chris Pratt, do you see cop who is smart enough to create and implement an AI system that everyone adopts to handle a dystopian future?
That part.
Or do you see cop who is eating donuts, stumbles into the information that helps blow a big crime and is on the run from like the mob or the triad for the rest of the day? Like, he need to be trying to find White Rush Hour or Shanghai Nights or whatever them type of movies are over there. It's giving
Denise Richards as a nuclear physicist.
Yeah, this is not you.
Ouch.
Damn. Damn.
We all remember
Christmas. What was her name?
I don't remember.
Something Christmas. Christmas Jones. But yes.
And everybody was like, "Oh, that's cute."
So I don't think we're gonna be watching Mercy until it's free.
Even then,
I
will have seen every
like,
motherfucking movie on that plane before I'll click on that one on my Delta headrest, because that's the only scenario I can see myself clicking on that.
No, it'll be on when it's free. That's fucked up, man.
But why?
Was that motherfucker at all?
Hell no, boy. If
you gotta put me in a chair, strap me down.
You had to put me in that chair he in the commercial.
You going to LA? You got.
I'd rather watch Yaya try to kill Aquaman again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd rather watch
Peacemaker. But only by a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Some other trailers they showed. I did get a chance to see, and you all may have had a chance to see as well. They did show how can I say this? X-Men 97 had some footage available, and you can find it floating around the interwebs and such. I could actually, I know one place you could definitely find it. If you click that QR code over there, I know it's there. You go check that out. Mm-hmm. Like and subscribe while you're there. But yeah, like seeing the trailer for X-Men 97, and of course it that confirms. I mean, we already knew that it was renewed for season 2. It's also been announced that it's already renewed for season 3. We'll get season 2 in the summer 2026. And we found out a little bit more about Daredevil Born Again. We'll have that next season coming in March. And that is supposed to have the return of Jessica Jones coming back to the MCU.
They better do right
Jessica
by my
Jones.
girl. Do right by Kristen. She deserves everything. She deserves all the good.
And
Don't waste
if
her,
something
man.
I saw was correct, it does appear that I know I saw an image of Kristen Ritter in a costume that absolutely looks like that is Jessica Jones superhero.
Oh, good.
costume.
Yes, give her a
I don't know-
personality and
I don't
outside
know
of
if it
drunk
is
and mean.
like I don't know if it is the actual.
Well, it might be a flashback
Image?
because in the original show, she used to wear that costume and then she
Oh.
stopped.
Just still give her something to do besides
Luke
be
Cage.
belligerent. Just saying. No,
I
and
agree.
give them that. You know I want that. But do it right. Show me the relationship. Show me them falling in love and like show me that. I'm for it. I'm 100% for it. Just do it right, for goodness sakes. And leave Iron Fist. Just leave him where he was. Don't do that. Leave that in the past. I think it's time we all moved on and just embrace the new.
Oh, no.
I agree.
And I ain't seen him in none of the photos either. And I think it should remain that way. Bless his heart. Whoever the actor is, I don't know him.
Finn Wolfhard.
No, Finn Jones.
Oh, Finn Jones. Yeah,
Like
Finn
Ben
Wolfhard.
Affleck.
Wolfhard's Stranger Things kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, no, I know that name. I would have known him.
Yeah, he showed up in Dickinson, that Emily Dickinson show that Haley Steinfeld did, and I was like, "Man, you sucking this too? Get out of here!"
I think the only thing I haven't hated
Bias.
him in, I didn't mind him so much in Ghostbusters, and of course he's been in Stranger Things, so we can't really like switch from that at this point.
Go for it.
No, I'm talking about Finn Jones.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, I didn't mind him in those two things. That's what all I've seen him in.
Finn Wolfhard was cool in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't really like.
Had him a little jungle fever in the second one.
Right. I was like,
the
I
first
ain't
one.
with him there.
When I see the Stranger Things kids, I don't know. I don't really like even what's the name in Fantastic Four. I was like, oh, I didn't really connect him to Eddie. I know he played Eddie, but I don't
Right.
feel like he was locked into that. Like for whatever reason, the Stranger Things, kids, when I see them in other things, maybe it's because they take so long between projects.
They've had an opportunity to do other stuff.
Yeah.
They don't look like
and
the same person.
They don't look like them damn kids no more.
Yeah.
For real.
You know what? It almost feels like a whole new cast.
Right. It's like I don't.
You got big brother.
connect
You got
them.
big brother that used to go to Hawkins High.
Hell, in a minute it'll be their kids who go into Hawkins High.
Facts.
So that I am looking forward, of course, to seeing Daredevil. They can keep up with Daredevil. Got to get more out of that. And Born Again season 2. I am interested, of course, in what they do with bringing Jessica Jones back. There was another trailer that popped out, and this one had all of my attention. Sam Reed back as Lestat de Liancourt, the vampire Lestat.
Now I will watch this one because I love the vampire Lestat. I love the vampire. Like I loved Interview with the Vampire, but when I read the vampire Lestat, I just completely fell head over heels in love with Lestat, and nobody has been able to be Lestat the way Lestat is. Yeah. So I'm very excited about this to see what they do, and if Akasha is in it, and Marius and all of the the game.
Akasha is in it.
Yeah,
I have seen a photo of the woman
the
that
actress
has the
who will be
planet.
portraying her.
Because you kind of can't tell that story without it. It's not his whole story, but it very much.
But it's a big part of it.
Right.
It is a major turning point in his story.
And I did not like Who's the What's. Who was the Stewart? What was the one in the vampire? In the Aaliyah movie. What's his name? Stewart.
Stewart Townsend.
Yeah, yeah. I just didn't like his Lestat. He's not Lestat. This guy is Lestat in a very flamboyant, very.
I will say I liked, and as much as I hate to say this, I like Tom Cruise as Lestat more than I like Stewart Townsend.
Much better, absolutely. Tom Cruise got Lestat.
At least he had the grandiose attitude required to be a Lestat character. And
Lestat is a person who literally would have rags on and still pull the lace out of his cuffs to make sure. Like that's Lestat.
Like I promise you, he could be like all skin and bones, and he's gonna take his scarf and flip it, and he's still got to fling it. Like everything with him just has to be opulence at all times, even if it's
Tom Cruise
the worst of conditions. And like I said, he was grand enough in the role, and I think he did a great job at the time, because that used to be the image. Then of course I got stuck with the books and read through the entire series. And as you read through all of the Vampire Chronicles, it becomes very clear that Lestat is the main character. He is not the main character in Interview with the Vampire. Right. He is like
I love how you're like, okay, so Louis was literally just a bitter ex-lover, because the stat that he described in the book is not really who Lestat is. Like things didn't happen exactly the way he said. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that.
And then, of course, when you start getting into some of the other books, you realize that like there was always a little bit of like turmoil. There was always a toxic relationship between Louis and Lestat, and of course, it was a bad break. And when they decided to part and go their separate, I mean, because let's face it, you try to kill your maker, you don't really. If you don't succeed, and now y'all got to walk the earth forever, you can't really like just let that go.
Right.
It could be 300 years. You still killed me. Like, the fact that it didn't stick isn't right. Like the fact that it didn't stick isn't what makes it okay. The fact
can't be cool after this.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, ultimately, you can't be cool. But once you realize that, like, okay, you're immortal, I'm immortal, we're still gonna be here. You have to find like the middle ground. And that's where these books are. Okay, I can tell I'm fanboy a little bit right here.
And
but
then his mom, is she going to be in it? Gabrielle? Isn't that her name? Gabrielle, his mom?
Yes. Yeah, well, they would have to. I mean, if they're doing the Vampire Lestat, based on the way that they handled Interview with the Vampire, I think they will hit all of the highlights, hit all of the key points, and they did not explicitly show Mom, but there were scenes where we could see there's going to be elements of his childhood. I do believe I saw Magus.
With the wolves.
Like I said, I do believe I saw Magus in the trailer. No, we saw an image of him in his childhood home with his father sitting at the table and whatnot. So it looks like they're going to show his less than humble beginnings, because he came from wealth. And I'm very, 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 very interested in seeing the Vampire Lestat, and I like the way that they are doing these characters. And it looks like we're still going to have Daniel Malloy. It was actually Daniel and Louis. Daniel and Louis were the opening of the trailer. And Sam Reed is just so that's got to be fun to be able to be a character like that and just always be turned up like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing Interview with the Vampire, or excuse me, the Vampire Lestat. And of course, that also makes me think like I have to go back and watch the Talamasca, and just to see what is all on that.
They
And
would have
that
done the
series,
wishes like they did the Vampire Chronicles. They did the wishes so dirty.
they kind of did. Like to the point where I didn't care
I
much
didn't
about
want to
the
watch
Mayfair.
it.
Yeah,
I
I was
love
like,
that series.
eh. And see, with everything being all kind of connected, that would have been like for those people who watch like Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago PD. That's what we could have had with Interview with the Vampire, Talamasca, and the Mayfair Witches. That could have been the same
Yeah.
thing. Where like if you just paying attention, like was that Lestat walking in the background? He wouldn't have had no lines in it, but he would have been there because he was watching from afar, something like that. And then, of course, you get the Taltos and little crossovers. Like, yeah, that would have been great. Would have been great. But the Talamasca, the Secret Order, that actually premieres this month on the 26th. So I'll be checking that out. There was no trailer at New York Comic Con for that, but as it ties into Interview with Vampire and Vampire Lestat, I will be checking out the Talamasca, more of Anne Rice's world and characters there. Adventure Time, Fiona and Cake. Max Original. They have a season 2. That 10-episode series comes out October 23rd, also on HBO Max. Fiona and Cake from Adventure Time. They have a little team up.
That's one I never got into. I feel bad. As much as I love Gumball, I just I couldn't get into the other one that everybody loves to either. There's Adventure Time and then there's
regular show.
Yes. That one too.
Show. Now regular show was some that's for potheads.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's a pothead show.
I was like, I don't understand. I just couldn't get into it. And
nah, it's literally like
Adventure Time.
Weird-ass
I don't
Wayne's
know.
World.
This didn't catch
See,
me.
Adventure Time is weird because
What's the
Cartoon
other one?
Network had this thing.
There's some weird ones.
Yeah, Chowder. Chowder was a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there was like a lot of shows where it was like the first season is super random, and then like after like a season and a half, it starts building like all this lore and it's connected. Like Adventure Time is like that. Like the first season of Adventure Time does not make sense. You just in the world, you're going on these adventures
random
with
shit
Jake.
Happening.
And then after around midway through season 2, they start explaining the world you're in and stuff starts making sense and you start realizing what this world is. And it's not just some random, like super fun cartoon world, like some real bad shit happened to make the world like this.
I think that was specific for Cartoon Network shows at the time.
Yes.
Because they're all like that. It was like they would have
like
a 10-episode order. And they would just have those 10 episodes that they would just run and run and run. And if people were watching it and it did good and it got the viewership, they would order the season.
Yeah.
Then they would actually be like, okay, now that we have now we can tell the story.
Right.
Because even when you watch Steven Universe, like the first 10, 15 episodes, is like, the hell is this? It's just some random weird stuff that happens. And then all of a sudden, it goes from just like random to super locked in. And here's the lore, and this is what it means, and this is how it. And they just take off from there.
Right.
But you watch the pilot and like the first handful.
That's my problem. Is it's like if you don't catch me by like the 3rd episode, I'll be like, okay,
this ain't for me. There's no like we're the crystal gems and we came down to Earth and blah blah blah. It's like, nope. It's just. We just in the mix.
Ladies with jewels. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes.
Your kid.
I mean, imagine like the first episode you watch be all I want to see. No, it's like all I want to do is see you turn into a giant woman. Like, if that's the first episode you watch, you're like, what the fuck is this show? What?
Yeah.
What is happening? is that Nicki Minaj voice? Wait, what? So random. So random.
Yeah.
But if somebody can say, okay, start at this episode and go from here to the end, you'd be hooked because you understand, they explain it, everything makes sense. And honestly, I feel like for the most part, for a long time, regular show, it didn't matter which episode you saw, you could just randomly catch an episode and the shit was cool.
Yeah.
It was funny, it was silly, it was stupid. It didn't matter, nothing was in order. And then it started being like you had to remember what happened 2 episodes back because this is the 3rd episode in a row that's telling this story. How we off planet again? Oh, remember when we had to fight and Pops was meeting his brother? And okay, go back and when it started getting there, that's honestly when it like locked in and became a show, and you had to like keep up with it. But and Adventure Time, same thing. Like it was just all this random make believe kid with a sword, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh wait, so how did you get here? Oh, okay. And what is your mission?
Like, oh, Princess Bubblegum and Marceline the vampire used to be friends, and now that's why they hate each other. And oh, Marceline singing this super emotional song about now she's floating up in the sky, and it's like, yeah. And now we got Fiona and Kate, which is an alternate universe where everything is gender bent and backwards. So instead of it being Finn and his dog, it's Fiona and her cat. And all the characters are basically like gender flipped in this world. So yeah, if it's weird. It's weird.
It is, but it's a lot of fun. If you have to get through that first part.
You know what it is? It's a good show. You put it on like if you like working, you like put it on in the background and just like run through the beginning part where you don't really like it's not following a story, but like you just meeting characters and getting used to kind of the tone and the energy of the show. And then by the time you like get through that, and then you kind of are like invested a little bit more. That's been my approach to like that era of Cartoon Network shows, because the random season 1 followed by like incredible lore. I mean, Craig of the Creek, same thing. Like season 1 of Craig of the Creek is just it's all over the place. And then I mean they did it so backwards, like they made the origin movie after the series like ended. They went back and like you got to meet how Craig moved to the neighborhood and met all his friends and all that stuff like that. So because I was always like, why is Craig making a map?
Gumball was like that too. So I definitely need to really sit and buckle in, because I feel like I would like Adventure Time if I give it a shot. I don't know. I never, well, to be fair, I've never really sat down and tried to watch it. I just catch random episodes or somebody's watching it and I'm trying to follow and I'm like, what the fuck is what is happening? Why are they in bubbles? I don't know, but it's confusing and it makes me scared, you know.
There'd be a lot going on.
Something about the Gumball characters grabbed me immediately because they did the same thing. They didn't start getting into the lore of what actually is going on till probably the 2nd season. Yeah. So I feel
Gumball,
and you're right about Steven Universe.
Gumball still stayed pretty random though. Like Adventure Time got to a place where it was like, this is episodic.
Telling an actual story.
Here's the story we're telling. Okay. And every once in a while we get an extra little bit from Gumball to just add to the puzzle. All these little bits and pieces. But I think a lot of what makes Gumball work is the relatableness, the relatability. Yeah, we'll use that. The relatability of the characters. And I feel like Gumball is what goes through our mind, even if it's not our actual action. When we find ourselves in similar situations, we say what Gumball is saying in our head. What actually comes out of his mouth is what we're thinking. We have tact and the ability to restrain ourselves, and we don't immediately blurt out what we think. But what Gumball says, that's what we're thinking. You know what I'm saying? And Darwin is our conscious. That's the thing we know we're supposed to do. You know what
I
I'm saying?
haven't watched the new episode yet. I heard they're really good though.
It's gumball. If I could watch a new episode, I could watch an old episode. They've always been good. I will say it is interesting because there was an era at Cartoon Network. I was thinking like everything for the most part has been animated. They have had some live action things, and there's been like the occasional show that was like, because there was one that had, it was supposed to be like a mock-up of like SVU, or you had like Law and Order SVU, where everything was just all acronyms and whatnot or initials, and it was like SVU, JTSF, PDU, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. And then of course there was the silliness that was Children's Hospital. That was wild.
That's Adult Swim though. That's not like
that does go more towards Adult Swim, but I feel like there's
Sure, I love me some Children's Hospital. And what's the other one? Oh, with the two guys.
Not
Bill and Tom.
Eric.
What was it?
Tim and Eric.
Tim and Eric's Awesome Show was my show.
Great job.
I love that show.
Eric
and the one they did about the small town. That one was funny too, where he was the mayor.
Yeah, Tom goes to mayor. Yeah. Now there's Teresa actually introduced us to a show that I think would be a perfect fit for like a live action web series. It was called The Comic Shop, and we all got a chance to watch it. And I for one enjoyed it. It's not something that I could specifically see being rebranded into like a sitcom, so to speak. I think the format that it was presented in was ideal for the content that's there. I do see that there's like whoever does this writing, I wholeheartedly believe they could write a great sitcom. I just think there would be more than it just being surrounded specifically inside the comic shop.
I said to myself like exactly the opposite. I mean, I thought I could see it as a sitcom easily.
I mean, you will see it on CBS. They doing the spinoff of the Big Bang Theory that's about the comic shop people that was on that show.
Is it? Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I said I could see it. You know, if they just work on the acting a little bit, I could definitely see it, especially since that kind of stuff has gotten so mainstream right now.
True. I mean, they clearly have some of the they have shown some connections to a nice base of social media presence that would give them a little bit more notoriety than I think you would expect. I recognized a couple of faces as I watched through the 6 episodes, and I was impressed that I recognized some faces because it was in my mind. I'm like, okay, this is a little web series that, you know, okay, my friend told me, well, I'm gonna watch this little, and I was watching. I was like, I was invested, and I was curious, and I want to know is it going to succeed? Ooh, are they going to stay together? Are they going to break? Ooh, is he going to, you know? And yeah, it definitely had me there. But I feel like the limitations of it being a web series, what they presented, I think was presented perfectly for what was presented. I do believe the writers could write a full sitcom, but I believe it becomes something where now it's multiple places. That's why I say I think it would be something that goes beyond just the comic shop. Now it would probably have like, okay, for example, you take what's one of the shows that has like How I Met Your Mother. You've got the apartment, you've got the bar, and then you've got wherever the hell Barney is. You know what I'm saying? Because that's always like the third camera location. But everything basically takes place between the apartment, the bar, there. Even if you take Big Bang Theory, you know what I'm saying? You have Penny's apartment, you have Sheldon's apartment, and then you have like, then they started introducing the school. Then it was Amy's apartment, and then it got to be Wallace's house. You know, like they started having more locations in order to tell the stories they were telling. It wasn't just always in the apartment at all times. But when you look through that first season, a lot of that was just in their apartment. You know what I'm saying? Because it focused more on just, they were trying to lean into like that nerdy culture and just make it niche for that. When they saw the opportunity to let it be more, they started to expand and improve the characters and move them out of this stereotypical nerdy realm. Then they got money hungry and they were like, ooh, 10 seasons and we'll just keep it going and wherever they need to go. And, you know, it kind of got off the rails towards the end there because of that. And eventually they got back. But I think something like this, the pureness of the story they're telling, this woman's dream to have a comic shop. She gets the comic shop. Her and her best friend, they run it, and she's just trying to be successful. The struggles they have, the people they know, the things they encounter. It seems like it's a very creative show. And I thought the 6 episodes were great. I'm looking forward to finding out what's going to happen. Like, what did David do?
Right.
You know,
I was kind of mad at that cliffhanger. I was like,
right.
You know, it's a web series. What if they don't pick it back up?
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait a minute. How you get me all invested in this short period of time? Like, damn it, good job. Good job. Ugh.
And I mean, I hope they get more views because I actually did thoroughly enjoy the show. Like the writers were, what I really like about the show is that the writing is corny but not lame.
It's authentic,
right? Like it's corny but not lame. Like I felt the character. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt the way they presented the characters. The characters were consistent. I actually didn't have that much of a problem with the acting from that core group. I thought Connor was absolutely awesome. Connor's a great actor. Love Dom because I love that you put this like super perky, super, you know, like just super energetic, you know, young black girl here in this situation, and just, you know, she's just like a cheerleader, and right. I loved her character. I like the main character. I can't pronounce her name.
Stephanie.
Yes, I love her because she does remind me of an Issa Rae that is likable.
No, my wife actually thought from her voice a couple of times.
And me too.
Because
she thought it was Issa Rae.
They talk
big awkward black girl energy. I was like, that's crazy that she sounds so much like Issa.
Yeah, but I just
almost like it was intentional.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, it may be
like a lot of girl boss.
It works for Issa.
Right. Yeah, she's an inspiration.
Like they gave that girl boss sound, and therefore, like it like I said, it almost felt.
I feel like a lot of like black girls who were not. I think a lot of them tend to sound similar. Anyway.
Yeah. No. I mean, I agree with that, and I mean, but there's her, but I did like her character, and that I felt like she's not a malicious person. She's a good-natured person. You know, but she's a nerd and she's quirky and she has these expectations and all these, you know, and the stress and the anxiety. I love her I love her partner. That dude is the king of random shit in the back. Like the one thing that I really liked about it was the energy and the synergy between all the characters. There's a lot of stuff that's like the core lines that they're spitting that get the, you know, the volume. But somebody's always saying some slick, funny shit in the background consistently. Yeah. And I love that type of shit because I felt like that's natural. Like if you're gonna do The Office, right? If you're gonna do that type of format where you have this, you know, sort of live camera thing going on, this documentary type thing going on, you gotta have some, you know, authenticity to it. And I felt like that awkward extra energy from the characters that just randomly comes in outside of the lines really helped sell the scene. A huge thing that I love that they did was I love how it escalated, right? First 3 were kind of really silly, right? And you know, even though they were stakes, they still kind of handled everything in a very silly format. But the D&D episode really set it off for me. Outside of them having Kiera on the show, who I also found out that she does the theme song. She also did the theme song for them. So, but I love the ending of the D&D show. Like him having his feelings hurt and the way they handled that, the way they addressed it and the writing behind it, that was chef's kiss. That was well done. That was very well done. Like, and then they had another serious moment in episode 5, which they also took very seriously, handled very seriously, but then immediately went back into comic mode. And so, man, they did. I really hope. I hope they this blows. I hope it blows. I hope they get 1 million views. I don't know if I really want to see it on CBS or anything like that. I kind of like this kind of raw format. Let them get that YouTube money. Let them get that Mr. Beast money.
Yeah, and I wasn't really thinking like CBS, like network. I was thinking like some streaming service. Maybe like a Prime Video or something where they could be a little bit more creative.
Yeah.
Than,
I mean, if nothing else,
mainstream TV.
I definitely think that a group like this, with what they've done, you give them a bigger budget and give them a little bit more support, and we'll get more greatness.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that they could produce even more given the opportunity. Mm-hmm. And I think for any bit of the acting that needed to be tightened up, I feel like everybody acted to the level of the character they were portraying. And that part of it, like Connor, I feel like Connor was supposed to be unnecessarily awkward, over the top and extra for comedic effect. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, with Dominique, I think, her character is supposed to have that like super ditzy energy, if you will, that cheerleader personality. Like, but I also feel like when she had to do the dual role, and for the life of me, I got to go back and look. Did they just have her doing both roles, or was that like actually her twin sister or something?
I thought it was her twin.
I thought it was
because I was like, they look alike, but not just
not
alike.
the same.
And there was the scene at the end when they were doing like the dance. They were actually touching each other, and I was like, now that's some Sinners level camp cinematography. If they doing that on this web series, so I was like, it had to be like her sister or her twin.
Yeah.
I cannot find, when I looked at the credits for that episode, I don't see anyone else credited. Maybe it's her sister uncast.
Maybe they just got some crazy cinematographer behind the scenes.
But I'm not good with faces, so.
Or they got a really good editor. Who knows? Maybe they just got a really good video editor.
My point being, though, that right there, if she did do both roles, shows that she does in fact have the versatility to do the character of Dominique in a slightly more serious tone if necessary. You take because the characters, it is her sister.
I was about to say
Sinead Cole is the person, and then the other girl's name is Shanice Cole. So either they sisters or they just two black women who look very much alike with the same last name.
It just happened to be. You know what? It's her cousin. They cousins. What do you say? Y'all twins? Nah, we cousins. So, but yeah, then that still doesn't take away from what I felt. And looking at it, I still believe, because of course she even had a few lines where she had to get again, the D&D episode. She's like, ha 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 ha.
Oh, I loved her in the D&D episode.
And it was like the energy she brought, like, okay, I would absolutely play D&D with her. That would be so much fun. Okay, so she's just gonna sit down and be the little murder bot. Okay, cool.
He's like, I play D&D.
Playing D&D. All
right. So, yeah, especially that particular round, I could put up with the bard. It would have been worth to be at that table. Now, this is I want for the main person, the creator, Cheyenne Iwulu. Apologize if I'm not saying that correctly. I want for her the same or greater success than what Felicia Day got for the Guild. And I actually like the comic shop more than I like the Guild. And this, it actually, not only is there's the web series, the comic shop, but I also think there was a short film, and it's called The Comic Shop, and that's what this web series is based on. And so I remember that from some time ago. So when you mentioned it, I was like, do I know what this is? And it would actually ended up being, they've expanded it. So the web series is a little bit more more in detail, more involved. And we could take this one premise that was basically a pilot, in my opinion, and you can turn it into this web series. We get to season 2. That's going to be, if they get this season 2 and they continue going with more characters and more storylines and different things that they can tell. And I did like that almost every comic that got screen time, real comic, like actual comics. And I thought that was a fantastic, shameless plug, if you will. But I appreciated that. And specifically the comics that were listed in the show. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, personally, I'm going to be checking out Rat City. That's the one, obviously, that's the one you got to see about. But let's see if we find that was right. That we got to.
Well, and about all of the comics being actual comics. It's an actual comic shop, so I'm sure that if that was his stock, it was all just on display. And I saw a couple of things that I recognized. I spent a lot of the time watching the show looking for other things, do they have Tuskegee Airs on the shelf?
Right.
Which I never saw, but I did see some Black Lion and Cubs, and I am familiar with that one. So, I'm having to rewind because I'm not paying attention because I'm looking at the titles that they're scanning.
Let's see. And so there's I did find some online discussions and threads, and some of the people in the threads were really good detectives and can give you a list of all of the different comics that are featured and shown. So check that out and support those comics. Would you have there?
No, I was gonna say I thought the show was good. I enjoyed the pacing. I wanted more, which I think is always a good thing. Any critiques I have are super nitpicks, just because my brain works that way. But it did feel like, okay, token white guy. Just it feels very, very, very different than a comic book shop full of black people. Although they never really addressed that outside of them saying oh, we didn't know he had any other black friends besides us when the girl came to the D&D session. But then It's she only likes white girls, so that kind of makes sense why that's the crew she's rolling with. I have an issue with the lack of facial hair on black men on TV. It is not even just in TV and in comic books. This has been a discussion I've been seeing going on Twitter for a while and on Instagram, and just how black hair has been a big conversation in America for quite some time. And I feel on the women's side, we definitely have a very largely positive movement in terms of yes, there are ignorant people who say dumb things about black women's hair, but there is a chorus that will shout you down, and enough even dumb black men who's smart enough to be hey man, I ain't talking about black women hair. That's not what I'm getting on the internet and doing. But right. I feel every black character, every black dude has bald head, a fade, the Killmonger, side swoop dreads with the fade, rarely facial hair. And it's just where are these clean shaven black men that y'all walking around on the daily like meeting, it's just something that I'm starting to like. It's starting to take me out of stuff when people be talking about stuff being authentic, and it's like this nigga don't have no facial hair. Like, what barbershop does he go to and just like take it all off, the no beard at all? Like at a black barbershop, they gonna ask you gonna have to fill out some paperwork.
Nigga, where's your stash?
Like you gonna have to fill out some paperwork, bro.
I don't trust a black man who got a mustache.
Because when I cut this mustache off, and you don't like how you look because you ain't seen how you look without no mustache since you was like 14, you're not about to set it off in this barbershop. So
I will, you know, and I have an interesting opinion on that. I can definitely say it's not regulated to just the mustache. I think it does need to be clarified facial hair, because I regularly shave my mustache in the summer. I hadn't had a bald face in 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it ain't all coming off, not ever. I don't even want to know what that looks like.
Right.
So I get what you're saying, but it's like I be real careful. Like, I think the first time I shaved my mustache off was an accident, but then I looked and I was like, you know what? That actually, okay, that don't look bad. And so it was summertime. It was hot anyway. That's why I was trying to take some of it off. And it was like, okay, I can do this. And so now in the summers, my wife refers to it as my mean lip, because when I shave my mustache, of course, my face just looks a little meaner since there's nothing there to soften it between my nose. My lip curls up a little bit more, and so I got this mean expression. I can't like take the full beard off. And if I take the mustache off, I got to rock a full chin strap. I can't do like, it can't be too thick on the sides without a mustache. It looks weird. And I think the most I've ever done was and this was probably maybe about 10, 15 years ago. I just had the side, like, again, no mustache, just the sides and the goatee. And that was about as close as I got. And I was like, okay, we'll never do that again. That was a little odd. So from there, I started like, you know, bringing the sideburns down into the chin strap. But yeah, I think.
And the only reason I pointed out here is because I understand on like white shows why that happens. Because that's just no facial hair. Like, it's too urban. It's too much. But like, I just feel like when we make our own stuff and I see those types of choices, I'm just fascinated by it.
Even then, I think for us, a lot of times it's still a personal choice of that person, because I feel like I see Sam Jackson bald-faced as much as I see him with anything, you know, and he's about the only one that comes to mind initially.
Denzel.
Yeah,
he's pretty much always been Hollywood. I
was like, but I don't think I can count on one hand the number of times I've seen Denzel with a beard, though. You know,
when Denzel was younger, though, when he be on like red carpets and when he wasn't filming the movie, he would have like more facial hair. But once he crossed over and he started making them movies like Ricochet and, you know, the Pelican Brief and all that kind of stuff, it's like,
I think the Pelican Brief was the last time I saw that mustache.
Cheadle's the same way.
Philadelphia was the last time I saw that mustache there.
Yeah.
And then past that. Now, again, Don Cheadle, another one.
He had a goatee in Training Day because he was evil.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm. The goatee is
he was a knocker.
My man. Like, yeah, and come on, Jake. Where's your witness? It's not what you can show, it's what you can prove.
Just real quick before we're done. I like just there would be randomness when the first episode didn't catch me initially, and for whatever reason, I don't know. I came back today and I was like, well, let me go and watch these so we talk about it. And I actually really enjoyed it. Like, they flew by, and I was like, I don't know what it was, because I watched like half of the first episode and I was like, this is silly, and I just was kind of, but then I was like, but it can't be silly because Teresa recommended it, and I know that she wouldn't recommend. You know what I mean? like let me go back.
Was safe.
In a weird place that day. But I by the time it was the end of the 6th episode, I was like, oh no, not the weed dude. And then it was the end because I went back to look and I was like, oh, I didn't even realize I had watched all 6. I just watched the little playlist. For me again, it was just random things. Like the white girl being like, I'm gonna just put up another profile on black gamers. And she was like, I got my preference. And she gave her the finger. I was like, why did she do that? Because I got my preferences. And then ran out of the store. Like, why? What did she do? It was just really, I was invested in the fact that I was like, God, Dominique, why would you leave the rat in the box to go get
Right.
some string cheese? Like that was just I was absolutely. The lead absolutely reminded me of Issa. Because I've got some classes I have to take. It's a whole thing, but I wasn't watching. You know what I'm saying? And a couple of times I was like, "You
Expected to
giving
see
big
Issa.
Issa energy."
It was her cadence too.
Yeah, it
Like,
was just something
yeah.
about the timbre and the cadence. I was like, okay, but also, I don't know. I like the characters. I was fully prepared to not like any of them initially. I was fully prepared to be like, all of these people irritate the hell out of me. The best friend, I was like, he is going to irritate me, but he didn't. I actually liked him, and I'm rooting for him. And I don't know. I don't know if I want him and Dominique together because I kind of feel like, dude, if you ain't seen it by now, I don't know if I want you not appreciating my girl.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think it's cute. Like I'm invested. So yeah.
Jesus, put some treble on his voice when you added this.
Just saying, he was attracted to two women on the show, and neither one of them looked like Dominique. So maybe that's just not, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want him to get with her
Right.
just because she's there.
I mean, but well, okay. I can agree with that.
I'm
I
invested. Okay.
I'm with you. No,
I
I'm
like
with you
her.
there. I'm with you there. I'm
I
more
want her to
curious to
be
see
sweet.
like with him and spoiler alert for anybody that hadn't watched it. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen with Keith. Just
Yeah.
the way those episodes ran and flowed. I need to
I knew
know.
old boy was devious. I was like, nah, he is something with that dude.
Right. He's up to
Oh
something.
yeah,
He
yeah.
Let me tell you something. The moment I saw him on screen, I told my wife, I was like, you know who that is, right? You know who that is, right? She had no clue. And then when it got to the end of the episode, he walked out. He's like, booyah. I was like, do you know who that is now? And she was like, is that the guy? Yes, that's the guy. And so Carrie Payton is the voice of Cyborg from Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go, like all the Teen Titans. And so that was one of the few people like immediately recognized him. I didn't know who Alana Pierce was. I did know who Kira Please was. I didn't know the Clementine. I didn't know who that guy was, but apparently he's another influencer.
He's a kid, he's a former child star. He used to be on the Cosby Show when Elvin and Sandra had twins. He
was the twin.
He was Nelson.
That's Nelson. It is Nelson. He got the same mouth. That is Nelson. Oh,
Oh,
it makes
okay.
me
All
feel
right.
old and sentimental. They got the same. That is absolutely him. That is so funny. Oh, no wonder I'm looking at this kid like I don't know who he is, but I know Kiera. Please, I follow her with her little cute self.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see the head now. I see the little point. Okay. That's exactly what that is. I, for the life of me, could not. And like I said, I figured since the other people that I did recognize were like, Carrie Payton's a voice actor, pretty well known. He's done some live action stuff too, but most people are going to recognize him from his voice work. Kara Please, social media, Alana Pierce, social media, you know what I'm saying? I figured these were influencers. So whenever there were the people that seemed to be somebody you should notice or whatnot, I was like, okay, with those two I'm guessing maybe the other ones are influencers as well. And somebody like Clementine, like he's supposed to be an influencer in the show. So I was just like, okay, sure, maybe that's what it is. And
the best friend is a very prolific voice actor himself.
yes, Keith.
Yeah, My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a roster.
Yeah.
Like this man has been the voice of like a lot to the point where you have probably seen something he's voiced.
Absolutely. And even before I started my short anime journey, because he has done he was on Owl House, and Big City Greens, and Big City Greens
What? Really?
Yeah, he's Remy. And up until I didn't have cable, like I always said, I parked the TV on Disney Channel, and they played Big City Greens 24/7.
I got sweat in my eye.
That was the big thing for me. And then now it's funny because watching this anime, I hear some of the voices, the same voices, because especially him and the lady who does Marinette and Ladybug and Cat Noir. She is in everything, all the animes.
Okay. Yeah, that gentleman is Zeno Robinson, and
and I looked him up before we started, so I would know his name, and I forgot.
Yep, Zeno Robinson. And for those he was Hawks in My Hero Academia, so not just a voice, like he was the number 3 hero. Okay. He was that guy. So there's a good number of episodes you've seen him from there. And he is actually, and this is another really cool thing, and it's just a cute little tie-in here. There is another web anime, well, not web anime. There's another anime that I've been watching on Crunchyroll. Gacha Kuda. It's the trash anime. I don't know how to
Gacha what?
Gacha Kuda.
All right.
Look, bro, I don't know how to, it's
I didn't make the title. I'm just pronouncing it.
Right. I'm doing my best with this one. Normally I could do pretty good. This one was a little bit of a challenge. But yeah, he's and this is actually this is an anime I've been watching recently that does feature a number of Black characters.
Yes.
And so that is something to point out and add in. And Zeno is one of the voices of one of the dopest characters on the show thus far. There's only like 8 episodes out, and one of the most badasses on the show kicked everybody ass. He does the voice for him. It's pretty cool there. And so that was something that was, again, just kind of like, well, how about that? I'll be damned. It's just all over the place. So it's impressive that the cast is what the cast is, who they were able to get, and how they were able to, get these people together. That to me, I think, speaks to the support that they have, the influence that they're attaining, and the possibility that we will be able to get more of that goodness. So, I'm very hopeful that they continue their success. And if anybody hears about more episodes before I do, please let me know. I don't want to miss out. So do me a favor.
I'm in shock that we found something that RG liked.
I didn't want to like put him on blast when he was talking so positively about it, but I just,
in my old age, I'm softening up. It's like, the way I treat the grandchildren.
Every so often, you gotta get some goodness in your life. That's all. I'm just glad I get to be there when it happens.
There you go.
So look, the next time something comes out and you want to tell me about it, you can click that QR code there. You can find us. We are GrownAGeeks. Everywhere you find GrownAGeeks on social media, we're gonna be there. So we had an opportunity tonight to talk about the New York Comic-Con trailers, the things we're interested in, and a web series that we think you should check out because it looks like it gets a star from everybody. So that's a nice 5-star right there. Check that out. Check us out. Like, subscribe, follow us, and join us for all the shenanigans on our social media spaces. For RG, Brandy, Teresa, Jeffrey, I'm Elder Geek Sam, and we are out of here. Peace.